Shalom. What's good with y'all? It's your boy Sep Sojourner. You know, it's been a minute, but we back on this vlogging, you know what I'm saying, journey, which is an important journey. There we go, that's better. Which is an important journey, this vlogging journey. But outside of the vlogging, you know what I'm saying, I'm outside, very much outside. I'm out here. I'm almost out here in Golden, Colorado, you know what I'm saying? Like, get y'all some of the views of Golden, Colorado. But yeah, I'm out here in Golden right now. And I'm taking care of a few things, some business out this way. But one of the things that has really come to mind, within everything that's currently happening with my transformation and my changes and the things that are happening in my world, has been very much a mindset can never be truly established or set unless you've been isolated. Now, like, me personally, the way that I think of the Bible is I look at the examples of, those who came before me. I look at our ancestors. That's how I look at the prophets and the people in the word, right? I look at them as ancestors. So I look at the ancestors in the ways that isolation was key within the ways that they moved and they operate, in the ways that they really were able to learn lessons that we learn from today, that we're able to apply in our own lives. Isolation is one of those things that we take for granted on how growth is truly established. One of the things about isolation that's essential is that it allows the mind to actually unpack what's real to it and what's not. You really get a chance to really get in depth with your own personal views, your own personal ideas outside of the construct of the world. That's one of the things that comes with isolation, is the ability to think for yourself, the ability to like make your own rational decisions on how you view your spiritual journey. One of the things that really helped me get to my own spiritual growth and where I'm currently at. And I've grown a lot over the years, to be honest with you. I've grown a whole lot, in perspective and otherwise, you know what I'm saying? So like, hold on for a second, y'all. I'm doing some stretching because I'm gonna talk to y'all on a level, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the spiritual journey, me personally, is something that's been on and going. The dark night of the soul, that isolation and that time where we really get into our inner reflections and the ways that we see ourselves and the demons that we're battling. That's an essential thing for us when we're talking about spiritual growth and we're talking about evolution, is to actually come across the demons, the fears, the things that are inside of us that we're scared to actually admit that are there. See, the thing is, the more that we actually deal with these inner demons, these inner fears, that's when we get to our true growth and our evolution of who we are within our Creator, the Most High. And yes, it does have to do, like, one of the things that I've really been working on establishing is the difference between me preaching to you and me teaching you from a perspective of my own personal obstacles and growth through those obstacles. So like with my own personal growth and through my own observations, I've been spiritual for a long time. Now, there's been different layers of my ascension and different cycles that I had to go back through in order to understand what that lesson needed to be through religion, outside of religion, and why religion was the restraint on certain ideas that I had. Now, I'm not saying that faith and religion should be totally thrown out by any means. I think faith and religion are the door. Hold up. Yeah, are the door that opens, us to true spiritual enlightenment, But within that, I'm going to go ahead and of justice. But within that, we also have to get to the realization of personal relationship with our creator, our higher consciousness, our inner self. And that's something that can only happen through isolation. So like my personal journey has been very isolated, and sometimes having to cut friends off or even back away from friends. I'm not going to say ever cut them off, because I feel like sometimes that's even a little too much to really say, but it's not so much cutting off people as more into getting into your next growth. Yeah, getting into your next growth as an individual, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that's very personal. That's something that most people around you, if they are used to you being a certain way, they're not gonna like initially your changes, your transitions. It's just facts, you know? So the thing that we have to understand and we have to realize is that through isolation is selfishness. But that selfishness that you need to grow is you have to be inside self. You have to be isolated with self and understand self in order to get to that true enlightenment in where the Most High is trying to take you. That takes time. That takes self-evaluation and a lot of battling with old ideas of who you are. When we're thinking about Jacob, yeah, Yakub, right? When we're talking about the wrestling of the angel, him wrestling with the angel, and then after that he became Yeshriel. One of the things that we have to understand about that lesson is the angel represented conformity. It represented ideology. It represented everything old about Jacob, right? And then the thing that we have to understand about his evolution and his change and his transition is he became something new, Yashriel, Yasharala, right? Israel. So within becoming Israel, the thing that we have to understand is he became the father of nations, right? He became the father of nations within this new transition from his isolation. Even when we're thinking about Moshe, Moses, Joseph, all of these people are examples of isolation, growing them, refining them, making them who they are. That's something that is constant. And through isolation, a lot of the time when your friends are cutting you off, people are backing away from you, people are, observing you from a distance to see who you are and what you're not. That's where those who are chosen really plug in and become their strongest. See, the thing about being a reflection of our creator is our creator can refine us within that isolation. That gives us the ability to really look at what is hindering us. What are the things that are blocking us from our greatness? What are the things that are blocking us from being who we're truly supposed to be? Well, you need isolation to look at that, because a lot of the time when we have friends, when we have family, we have those who are around us, whether they know it or not, they enable us. They become enablers. So they want you to stay the person that they're used to. But when you get truly tapped into our creator, into the divine, you become the person that you're called to. And the more that you walk in the person that you're called to, the more that those who are used to you being certain ways, thinking certain ways, doing certain things, they're not truly going to know how to engage you. And the reason why is because they're used to you being this old way. Yahushua said, be not conformed to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? We're talking about the old wineskins, right? And when wine is poured into old wineskins, right, they burst, right? The thing about it is transition, transformation, evolution of who you are, it requires you to let go of the things that you're used to in order for something new to be blossomed. Isolation is key. So if you're by yourself right now, if you're getting a lot of self-time, there's not a lot of people around you, or you might be the person who's looking for a relationship. right? You're looking to be partners with someone who, not even partner, you're looking to lead someone. Well, if you're looking for that relationship and that bond, you have to learn who you are in that isolation in order to achieve that bond. And there's so many things that you have to shed off from that old person in order to be anybody of value to who you choose to be with. And to be honest with you, me personally, I like being at this point in my journey solo. And the reason why is because there's so many different things that I'm refining. And I know you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be the version that you are trying to be, but it's not about becoming the version. You are the version. You accept that version. You walk as that version and you become what you envision yourself really fulfilling. The mind is such a powerful thing when we're talking about its ability to actually form and evolve you as an individual. But you have to walk and step in the ideas, in the visions that are being put and planted through the creator, through the source. The more that you do that, the more that you're in divine alignment, the less work that you're actually doing. That's the goal, to get out of work and to get in alignment. Dr. Miles Monroe said one time about birds. The thing about birds, when they fly and they flap their wings, that's their work. And the more that they do the work, the more that they're conducting energy, and it's effortless to them. It's just a part of their being. That's ultimately where we're getting to. That's ultimately what we're striving for. When Yahushua said the kingdom of heaven is at hand, what he was letting you know is that everything that you are striving to be, everything that you're striving to accomplish, everything that you want is already inside you. You have to accept it. See, I utilize the scriptures not to necessarily preach. I utilize them as examples on how to apply these different ideas to my own personal journey in my life. That's freedom. We're striving for freedom. The only way that we can truly get to freedom is to free ourselves. Unlock the shackles that are on your mind. That's freedom. Being in alignment with your purpose, which you were made for. Before you came to this earth, you and the Most High were in agreement on what you were assigned to do. Your job is to get to that assignment, accomplish it, finish it, and ascend. That's your job. But you have to get outside of the restraints and the constructs of this world. Question everything. Go deep into your own personal history, but also understand the ways that world history has been constructed. Those are the keys that you need in order to become who the Most High has called you to be, your greatest version. That's what it is. So this is my Sojourners vlog. Sojourners vlog. So yeah, Sojourners vlog. Please subscribe, like, comment, share some ideas, exchange. You know what I'm saying? That's what this build is about. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah. Bless up to y'all that are chosen. Shalom.